Always this packing efficiency question will come from the simple cube or from the BCC or from the FCC. If the molecules have activation energy, then the collisions will be more. Then if the molecules are arranged in a proper orientation, then collisions will become effective. We all know that what is the Insenberg reagent, which is nothing but a benzyl sulfonyl chloride, and it is also known as what? Insenberg reagent. Hello my dear students, a warm welcome you all. Myself is Purnima, lecturer in Department of Chemistry at Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. My dear students, today I am going to discuss with the session 3 in the model question paper which has been released from the Pre-University Board. So in our last session only, we have learned that how to answer for the 1 mark, 2 mark as well as with the 3 mark. So today let us understand how to attend for the 5 mark question, that is in the part D. Okay. Again in the part D there will be a 14 questions will be there. Under that you need to attend only 7. Okay. So I'll explain how to attend with the each question. So we'll begin with the first question, that is in the part D, 5th main. Okay. So here in the part D, there are 2 mains will be there, that is the 4th and the 5th main. So I'll go with the 4th main first. So in the 4th main, any 3 you need to answer here. Okay. Each question will carry 5 marks. So totally you will get a 15 marks from the part 4. Okay. So the first question will be goes like this. Calculate the packing efficiency in simple cubic lattice. And we have one more question, that is the calcium metal crystallizes in FCC with the edge length of 556 picometer. Calculate the density of the metal. So the first question is from the packing efficiency and second question is a numerical. This is a 5-mark question from the unit 1, the solid state. Okay. When I come to the 4th main in the part D, always this packing efficiency question will come from the simple cube or from the BCC or from the FCC. Okay. So here if you see that packing efficiency numerical, this time they have asked the simple cubic lattice. You need to write the packing efficiency of the simple cubic lattice. And the second question is the numerical. Always the second question will be come from the same unit, the solid state. Okay. The first unit in your second PUC chemistry. Again here you need to understand that what is given in the numerical and you have to calculate the density of the crystal lattices. So I'll go with the first question now. As we all know that we need to derive a packing efficiency, or we need to calculate the packing efficiency in a simple cube. So I'll explain with the solution, and while deriving, where exactly the evaluator will give the marks, I'll also explain with that. Okay. So when you're writing the packing efficiency, first of all, you need to write the simple cube. And you have to show that how many spheres are there in a simple cubic lattice, in the BCC or in the FCC. So it is very important to write a cubic set. Next, up to the values of a cube, you will get a 1 mark. Okay. Up to the values of a cube, along with proper diagram, you will get a 1 mark. Then, if you write the packing efficiency formula, you will get a 1 more mark. And if you write the proper percentage, for that also you will get a 1 mark. The substitution and all, it will carry 1 mark. Okay. So, like this, they will allot the 3 marks for the first question. Okay. So, how do they allot the 3 marks for the packing efficiency? If you write the diagram and if you write the values of a cube. Okay. Then, if you write the proper formula of the packing efficiency, you will get a 1 mark. And later the substitution and for writing the correct value, the packing efficiency value, you will get a 1 mark. Hope you all understood with this. I'll go with the explanation now. Okay. In a simple cubic lattice, we all know that where A is considered as a edge length or a sides of the cube and R is considered as a radius. And we know that edge length which is always equal to 2R. Okay. In a simple cubic lattice which always consists of only one atom and the volume which is occupied in the space was given by 4 by 3 pi R cube. Okay. Then coming into the volume of the cubic unit cell. So that is the value of A cube was given by 2 into R cube because we know what is A here. So A is nothing but a 2R. So if you substitute the values for the A cube here, you will get a 8 pi R cube. Again, for writing this step along with the diagram, you will get a 1 mark. Then for writing the packing efficiency formula, that is the volume of one sphere divided by the volume of the cubic unit cell. Remember, I am talking about only the simple cubic unit cell. Whereas in FCC and BCC, number of spheres will be various. Okay. So, the volume of one sphere divided by volume of the cubic unit cell into 100 it is. So, we know that what is the volume of one sphere, that is 4 by 3 pi R cube divided by volume of the cubic unit cell is 8 R cube into 100. If you solve this, you will get pi by 6 into 100 and if you substitute the value for the pi, you will get 52.4%. Okay. Like this, you have to derive neatly with the 5 mark question. So, hope you all understood with this. I'll go with the part B now. That is the second question. The calcium metal which crystallizes in FCC with the edge length of 556 picometer, calculate the density of the cell and also they have given atomic mass of the calcium, that is 40 gram per mole, and they also given the Na value, that is Avogadro number value they have given. Now, how to substitute this value? We know that for density calculation we have a formula. The density of the unit cell was given by Z into M divided by Na into A cube. For writing this formula, you will get 1 mark. For writing what? Writing the correct formula, you will get a 1 mark. Remaining substitution and for calculation, you will get 1 more mark. Okay. For final answers and substitution, you will get 1 more marks. Let's see how to substitute the values for calculating the density. So, from the numerical, we have understood that they have given the atomic mass of the calcium, that is 40 gram per mole, and also they have given that it is FCC. Okay, in FCC the Z is nothing but a 4, and also they have given the edge length, that is in 556 picometer. We all know that 1 picometer, which is nothing but a 10 to the power of minus 10 meter or centimeter, you can say. Okay. So, we need to convert this picometer into centimeter form. So, it is 556 into 10 raised to the power of minus 10 centimeter, and also they have given the Avogadro number. If they don't give the Avogadro number, you must have the idea of substituting the Avogadro number because it's a constant value. We know that it is 6.022 into 10 to the raised to the power of 23. Then coming into the numerical, we have Z is equal to 4 into masses, that is atomic mass of the calcium is 40 divided by edge length is 556 into 10 raised to the power of minus 10 into whole cube because it is A cube into Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 raised to the power of 23. If you solve this, you will get 1.54 gram per mole. This is how, if you write the formula and if you substitute the correct values as it is given from the numerical, and if you got a proper correct value, you'll get a 1 more marks. Hope you all understood with the first question. I'll go with the next question now. Next question goes like this. 1.00 gram of non-electrolyte solute is dissolved in 50 grams of benzene, which lowers the freezing point of the benzene by 0.4 Kelvin. The freezing point and depression constant for the benzene is 5.12 Kelvin per kg per mole, and find the molar mass of the solute. We have one more question. What is the reverse osmosis? Mention the one practical utility. So again, this is a question for 5 marks. The first question will carry 3 marks and second question will carry 2 marks. So this is a question from the unit 2, the solution. Okay. In this unit, always remember there will be numerical in the 4th main, especially on the qualitative property, either in the relative lowering of vapor pressure, depression in freezing point, elevation in boiling point, either to the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure, it is a very rare one, especially from the elevation and freezing point. Then ask the numerical to calculate the mass of the solute. Now, let us see how to put a formula to calculate the molar mass of the solute. So, here one thing we need to understand that whether they have given the elevation in boiling point or depression in freezing point. Here, they have given the formula based upon the depression in freezing point, that is given by delta TF, which is equal to 1000 into KF into WB divided by WA into MB. Here, if you look at the numerical, you will clearly understand that we need to calculate the molar mass of the solute. You need to calculate. Before that, here also you can rearrange the formula, that is MB, which is equal to 1000 into KF into WB divided by WA into delta TF, right? So, we know that what is the KF value, because they have given the depression constant, that is nothing but a KF value. So, 1000 into what is the KF value here? 5.12 into what is WB here? WB is nothing but a 1.00 gram. So, it is 1.0 divided by what is WA here? WA is 50 gram, because 1.00 gram of non-electrolyte solute it is dissolved in solvent is benzene. So, it is 50 into, what is the delta TF value they have given? 0.4. 0.4. This is how you will substitute the values to calculate the molar mass of the solute. Now, if you solve this, you will get 256 gram per mole. This is how you need to calculate the mass of the solute by looking at the numerical, whether it is depression in freezing point or elevation in boiling point, or it is a relative lowering of vapor pressure. Hope you all understood with the 3 mark. Again, here for writing the formula, you will get a 1 mark, and for rearranging the formula and for the substitution, you will get a 1 more mark, and getting that final value and putting the SI units, you will get a 1 mark. Okay, totally it carries the 3 mark. Coming into the second question, what is reverse osmosis? Mention one practical utility. We know that osmosis means it is a reverse osmosis in the sense where you are applying the pressure to stop a osmosis. That is known as what? Reverse osmosis. And one practical utility is we are using in desalination of sea water. We'll understand once again the process of reversing the direction of osmosis by applying the pressure higher than that of the osmotic pressure to the solution of higher concentration is known as what? Reverse osmosis. If you define reverse osmosis, you will get a 1 mark, and writing that one practical utility also, you will get a 1 mark. So, totally from the part B, you will get a 2 mark, and from the part A, you will get a 3 mark. You have to say that what is a reverse osmosis, and you have to state one practical utility. Hope you are understood with this question. We'll go with one more question. Calculate the equilibrium constant for the reaction. Okay, equilibrium constant in the sense we need to calculate Kc. Then they have given a question where copper and silver, when it is in a electrolytic cell, copper loses 2 electrons and that 2 electrons will be accepted by the silver, and they have given the E0 value of the cell is 0.46 volt. We need to calculate the equilibrium constant of the cell. How to calculate? We have a relationship with the E0 with the Kc, that is E0 of the cell, which is equal to 0.059 divided by N into log Kc. Now we know that we need to calculate the log Kc, and they have given the E0 value also, right? So just by rearranging this, or direct if you do the substitution. So what is the E0 value they have given? 0.46 is equal to 0.059. How many electrons will be released from the copper? It is 2 into log of Kc, right? Now, after doing this, if you do the cross multiplication here, 0.059 divided by 2 into 0.46 into log Kc. If you wanted to take out the log Kc outside, okay, so this denominator will go to the numerator and form 0.46 divided by 0.059. Okay, how much you will get? You will get 15.59. Now, after getting this 15.59, that is log Kc value, if you wanted to calculate the Kc, if the log comes outside, it will become anti-log of 15.59. 15.59. So, while looking at the anti-log, okay, you need to understand that at 15, what will be the value under the 5 and by adding the 9. Okay. So, how much you will get it? So, it is 4 into 10 raised to the power of 15. Why it is 15? Here, while calculating the anti-log, here this 15 will become a base. Okay. So, under 59, you will see the anti-log value. Okay. So, log 15, anti-log of 59, it is 4. 4 into 10 raised to the power of 15, because hope you know that if you get this 15.59, you cannot see the values of anti-log of 15.59. We have to consider this first decimal as a base, okay. Then we have to look into the remaining numericals on the anti-log, okay. Anti-log of 59 is 4 and into 10 raised to the power of 15, okay. Hope you are understood with this. Then, coming into the second question, suggest any two methods to prevent the corrosion of iron. We all know that corrosion of the iron will be usually prevented just by doing electroplating or by painting or by galvanizing or by oiling. These are the process we can write it. Just write the method to prevent the corrosion of the iron. Any two method you have to write. For writing the two methods, you will get a 1 mark. So, you will get a 2 marks. Then, Coming into the part A, for writing this formula you'll get a 1 mark, and for the substitution is a 1 mark, and getting the values of Kc, the final value, you'll get a 1 mark. Coming into the next question, derive an integrated rate equation for the rate constant of the zero order reaction. So again, this is a question from the unit 4, chemical kinetics. So in this numerical, you need to understand that the integrated rate equation for the zero order and integrated rate equation for the first order, both are important. Any one will be given to you. Okay. So it will carry 3 marks. So how to write and where exactly we have to get the marks, I'll explain. And the second question will be goes like this. According to the collision theory, write any 2 factors which are responsible for effective collision. Okay. So for the first question, again it carries 3 marks. For second one, it will carry 2 marks. Okay. For the first question, you need to say that it is a zero order. We know that reactant will give rise to the product, and rate of the reactions will be given by minus d into r divided by dt, which is equal to k into r naught, initial concentration of the reactant. As any quantity raised to the power of 0, we know that it is equal to 1. Okay. So rate of the reactions can also be written as minus d into concentration of the r divided by dt into k into r to the raised to the power of 0. So anything raised to the power of 0 means 1. If you taken out the d into concentration of the r outside, you can write the rate of the reaction as minus k into dt. Okay. Now integrate on both the side. You will get the integration of d into r means it is a concentration of r, which is equal to the integration of minus k into dt, which is nothing but a kt plus 1. Okay. Here you can say that I is a constant of integration, that is nothing but a I, and t is nothing but a 0, where the concentration of the reactant, which is always equal to R naught. Okay, which is always equal to R naught. Up to here, if you read properly, you will get a 1 mark. Okay, the integrated equation. So understand here, they will do the integration of dr and integration of minus k into dt. So you will get integration of dr is r, which is equal to integration of k into dt, which is nothing but a k t plus I. I is nothing but a integration constant. Suppose if you take t as 0, then the concentration of the reactant will become R naught. Then integrated rate equation can also be written as R naught, which is equal to minus k into 0 plus 1. So you will get a R naught value as I. Okay. Now if you substitute the values of the I in the above equation, you will get R, which is equal to minus k into t plus R naught. Why it is R naught? We have substituted the values of I here as we obtained by taking the time as 0. Now up to here, if you write, you will get 1 more mark. After writing that final equation, you will get a 1 more mark. Okay. Further simplifying the equation 2, we will get a rate constant K as K is equal to R naught minus R divided by T. So this is our integrated rate equation for zero order reaction. For that, you will get a 3. Coming into the second question, we all know that the collision of the molecules will be always effective only when the molecules undergo effective collision, and if the molecules, if it is there in the proper orientation, then collision will be very high, and the molecules should have activation energy. If the molecules have activation energy, then the collisions will be more. Then if the molecules are arranged in a proper orientation, then collisions will become effective. These 2 points you have to write. So for writing one point to say that what is when the collisions will become effective, you will get a 1 mark, that is 2 marks. Coming into the next question, this is a question from the unit 4 where you are getting the numerical. Okay. The rate of the specific reaction doubles when temperature changes from 350 Kelvin to 360 Kelvin. Calculate the energy of activation. We have one more question. Show that half-life period of a first order reaction is independent of the initial concentration of the reactant species. You need to derive an equation for what? Half-life period of a first order reaction. I'll go with the first question. Again, hope you know that first question will carry 3 marks. Second question will carry 2 marks. For writing the proper formula, you'll get a 1 mark, and for substitution 1 mark, and writing the values, you'll get a 1 more mark along with the units. Okay. So here they have given the difference in temperature, that is 350 to 360. We need to calculate the energy of activation, and they have given the rate of the specific reaction is doubles. What does it mean? They have not given the values for K2 and K1, but they are saying that rate of the reaction is doubles when temperature is raises from 350 to 360. Now, we know that we have a formula of log of K2 divided by K1, which is equal to EA divided by 2.303 into R into T2 minus T1 divided by T1 and T2, right? And we know that we have to calculate the EA, and they have not given the values of K2 and K1. But they are saying that K1, which is equal to 2 into K2 is equal to 2 into K1. Now, somewhere if you write, you will understand that log K2 by K1, which is also written as log K2 is nothing but 2 into K1 divided by K1, right? So, K1 get cancels means it will become log 2. Okay. So, you will get a log 2. Then, coming to the numerical, we know that we have to calculate EA value. So, I will take out the EA outside, and we know that what is the values for the R, that is 8.314. Okay. And they have given the difference in temperature. That is T2 is nothing but 360 and T1 which is nothing but 350. Now, that is T2 is 360 minus 350 divided by 360 into 350. Now, if you do this calculation, before that if you taken out the EA outside, log 2 value, hope you know that how to calculate it, it's a 0.30 and 3010 it is. So, if you taken out the EA value outside, so log value will come this side. I can show with that EA is equal to 2.303 into 8.314 into log 2 value into 360 into 350 divided by 10. Okay. Now, if you calculate this, you will get 726117.4745 joules. If you convert it into kilojoules, just multiply with 1000. So, you will get 72.61 kilojoules. Okay. This is how for writing the formula you will get a 1 mark, and for substitution you will get a 1 mark, and writing the correct values of EA along with the units you will get a 1 more mark. We will go with the next question. Here you need to derive an equation for half-life of a first order reaction, and we need to show that the first order reaction which is independent on the initial concentration of the reactant species. We know that the integrated rate equation for the first order, that is K is equal to 2.303 divided by T into log of R0 divided by R. I am considering the time at T half, that is a half-life period, and R value will be also considered as R0 divided by R. Now, if you substitute the values of R and T half in the above equation, you will write, so K is equal to 2.303 divided by T half into log of R0 divided by R into R divided by 2. So, why it is R divided by 2? Because R is the initial concentration of the reactant after the product which is formed. R0 is the initial concentration of the reactant before the product formation. Okay. Then T half which is equal to 2.303 into K just by rearranging the T with the T half with the K. You will get a log2 values. Log2 value is 0.301. 2.303 divided by K into log2 is 0.30. Now if you multiply 2.303 into 0.3010, you will get 0.693. That is the T half values with the rate constant, that is K. This is how you need to derive a half-life period of a first order and a zero order if it is asked. So for writing the first order integrated rate equation, you will get a 1 mark, and for the substitution and showing the final answer, you will get a 1 more mark. So it carries 2 marks. Coming into the next question, give any 3 differences between lyophilic and lyophobic colloid, and how does free energy and entropy change during the adsorption of a gas on a solid. So in the first question, you need to write the 3 differences between lyophilic and lyophobic colloids. So we all know that what is lyophilic and lyophobic colloids. So these are formed by direct mixing. These are prepared by specific methods, and they are reversible in nature, they are irreversible in nature, and the particles of the colloids are the true molecules and they are big in size, and the particles they aggregate to form a many molecule. Here it is stable and it is usually unstable, you can say, and the particles are not easily visible under the microscope. Here we can observe through the ultra microscope. Okay, so this is how any 3 differences if you write, you will get a 3 mark. Proper differences you have to write. Coming into the second numerical, you have to say that how does free energy and enthalpy will change, okay, during the adsorption. So what will happen during the adsorption? The free energy as well as with the enthalpy will become negative. Will become what? Negative due to the adsorption of a gas on the liquid. For writing this, you will get a 2 mark. Coming into the next 5th main, again here you need to attend only the 4 questions. Each question will carry 5 marks and you are going to get a 20 marks from this. Okay. The first question will goes like this, and all of these questions will come from the organic chemistry part. Okay. The first question will goes like this. Write the equation for the steps in Sn1 mechanism for the conversion of tertiary butyl bromide into tertiary butyl alcohol, and why tertiary alkyl halides are undergo Sn1 reaction very fast. Within the first question only, we have one more sub question. We need to say that why tertiary alkyl halides only they are going for Sn1 reaction. And we have one more question. We need to explain the reactions between ethyl bromide and magnesium metal. First, I'll go with the Sn1 mechanism. This is a question from the haloalkanes and haloarine unit. Okay, this is the first unit in our organic chemistry. Either Sn1 mechanism or Sn2 mechanism will be definitely asked for 3 marks. Okay, if it is asked for 3 marks, definitely it is Sn1. If it is asked, Sn2, it always for 2 marks. Then they will raise the question to 2 plus 2 plus 1 or from 3 plus 2. Coming into the mechanism, you need to say the 2-step reaction mechanism here to say that Sn1 reaction mechanism. The first step will goes like this. The first step is nothing but a formation of carbocation. This is a tertiary butyl bromide. It loses the halogen group and become a carbocation where the central metal atom is having plus charge. Why it is known as rate determining step? Because this is a slow step, hence it is known as rate determining step. So you have to say that first step is a formation of carbocation where tertiary butyl bromide loses its halogen group and become a carbocation, and this is known as rate determining step because it is a slow step. In the next step, you have to show the attack of nucleophile. So here, once it forms a carbocation, if it is attacked by a nucleophile, this negatively charged nucleophile goes and attacks to the tertiary carbocation to form a tertiary butyl alcohol. Again, for writing this second step, you will get a one more mark. Okay. Then we have one more question where you have to say that why only the tertiary butyl alcohol will undergo Sn1 mechanism, because it depends only on the concentration of alkyl halide. That is why it undergo first order reaction. For saying this statement, you also get a one more mark. Coming into the second question, here this is a question where ethyl bromide, which is allowed to react with the magnesium in presence of dry ether, it gives rise to the Grignard reagent. Either they'll also ask you the question on the direct question of Grignard reagent preparation, or else sometime the examiner will also ask how do you prepare Grignard reagent, or how ethyl bromide reacts with the magnesium in presence of dry ether to form a Grignard reagent. Any two forms can be asked to get a 2 marks. Okay. Here for writing this statement, you will get a 1 mark, and writing the proper balanced equation, you will get a 1 mark. So you will get a 2 marks in the second question. Hope you all understood with this. Coming into the next question, write the 3 steps involved in mechanism of acid catalyzed dehydration of ethanol to ethene and how phenol is prepared from the aniline. Write the equation. This is a most expected question for the 3 mark and most repeated one also. Here you need to say the 3-step reaction. In the first step, you have to say that it is a formation of protonation of alcohol, formation of carbocation, and next step is termination step. What will happen? This is a degradation process of what? Ethanol to ethene. Okay. So first I will consider the ethanol where it undergo protonation. Okay. It reacts with one more H plus and forms the protonated alcohol, which is known as ethyl oxynium ion. In the second step, this elimination of water molecules will be taking place. As a result of this, the carbon atom gains a positive charge so that it will form a carbocation. Hence, this step which is known as formation of carbocation. In the third step, you need to say it is the elimination reaction where you are going to eliminate one of the hydrogen to form a ethene. This is a process where you are going to degrade the ethanol to ethene, and it is one of the simplest reaction where for each step you will get a 1 mark and you will get a 3 marks easily. And we have one more reaction. We have to show that how do we prepare the phenol from the aniline. When aniline which has been treated with sodium nitrate in dilute HCl at 270 to 278 Kelvin to form benzene diazonium chloride. When benzene diazonium chloride which is warmed with the water, the phenol will be formed. I'll show with the reaction. This is the aniline, okay, where it is going to react with sodium nitrate in presence of dry HCl, okay. What will happen? It will form benzene diazonium chloride, which is upon heating, it gives rise to the phenol with the N2 and HCl. For writing this reaction, you will get a 1 mark, and writing the explanation, you will get a 1 mark. Coming into the next question, identify the product A and B in the following reaction, and between the phenol and alcohol, which one is more acidic and why, and name the enzyme which catalyzes the conversion of glucose and fructose into ethanol. Here, for the first question, you will carry 2 marks, second one is 2 marks, and the last one is 1 mark. We know that when CH3 3 times C with the COCH3 reacts with hydrogen iodide, upon heating, it will form a CH3. This is a tertiary butyl iodide with the formation of what? Methanol. And coming into the second question, between phenol and alcohol, which one is more acidic? Phenol is more acidic than the alcohol because of the formation of phenoxide ion, which is more stable in phenol when compared to the alcohol. And the enzyme which catalyzes the conversion of glucose into fructose into ethanol, which is xylase. Okay, you will get a 2 and 1 mark. Coming into the next question, write the name of the following reaction. So here in the first question only, there are 3 named reactions they have given. So here, hope you know that this is a stannous chloride which is allowed to react with the HCl, and this will again react with alkyl nitrile. Okay, nitrile. It will form a intermediate product. Later it will form an aldehyde. So this is a Stephan reduction reaction. And second one is a benzaldehyde allowed to react with the concentrated NaOH. It will form benzyl alcohol. Later it will form a sodium benzoate. It is a Cannizzaro reaction. Coming into the second one, that is carbonyl group, which is allowed to react with Zn, Hg and HCl. It will form CH2, where this group will begin reduced to CH2 and water. Again, this is a Clemmensen reduction reaction. So, named reaction can also be asked in the organic chemistry. You must have an idea about all the important reactions, which comes under the organic chemistry. So, coming into the second question, here, write the chemical equation of benzaldehyde with acetophenol in presence of dilute alkali at 293 Kelvin. Give the name of major product which is obtained in this reaction. Here, this is a benzaldehyde which do not contain any alpha hydrogen atom, which is allowed to react with acetophenol with a dilute NaOH. You know what will happen? It will form ketol, which is upon further reduction of water molecule here. Okay, it will form what? Trans-chalcone, or which is also known as what? Benzoyl acetophenol, which is a major product. Okay, this is how, just for writing this reaction, you'll get a 2 marks, and naming the organic reactions, you'll get a 3 marks. Next question will be goes like this. What is the decarboxylation reaction? Give an example. Explain Hell-Verol-Zelensky reaction. Given reason why benzoic acid does not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction. For the first question, you will get 2 marks. Second question is 2 marks. Last question is 1 mark. Okay. Again, in the first question, you have to say what is decarboxylation, and you have to give a statement with a proper balanced equation. And second is also same. I'll go with the decarboxylation first. The carboxylic acid which loses a carbon dioxide, that is said to be decarboxylation. Okay. So, the carboxylic acid which loses a carbon dioxide to form hydrocarbons when their sodium salts are heated with soda lime, and the reaction is known as decarboxylation. Here, this is the sodium salts of carboxylic acid which is upon heating with the soda lime, that is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide. Okay, and if you heat it, this will be get reduced to where this COO group will be going to be loose to form an hydrocarbon with the formation of sodium carbonate. This process which is known as what? Decarboxylation. Coming into the Hell-Verol-Zelensky reaction, writing the proper balanced equation, you will get a 1 mark, and writing the explanation, you will get a 1 more mark. Okay. So, the carboxylic acid having an alpha hydrogen atom or halogenated alpha position on treatment with the chlorine or bromine in presence of small amount of red phosphorus to give a alpha halocarboxylic acid. This reaction is known as what? Hell-Verol-Zelensky reaction. So, here this is a carboxylic group which are having alpha hydrogen atom. This is a carboxylic group, or you can write this also as OH. This is a carboxylic group where the carbonyl carbon atom is having the alpha hydrogen atom and alpha carbon atom, right? So which is allowed to react with the halogen in presence of red phosphorus, what will happen? This CH2 which is going to substitute it with one of the halogen to form a alpha halocarboxylic acid. This X may be Cl or Br with the formation of hydrogen halide. This reaction is known as what? Helverol-Zelensky reaction. Just write the explanation in your own words and write the proper balanced equation. Coming into the last question of this main, benzoic acid does not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction because the carboxylic group is deactivating and Lewis acid catalyzes the carboxylic group bonded. So that is why the benzoic acid will not undergo Friedel-Crafts reaction. Coming into the next question, write the chemical name and the structure of Insenberg reagent. You have to write the chemical name and the structure. You will get a 2 mark. And explain the carbolamine reaction by taking ethylamine as an example. Why aniline is less basic than ammonia? Give one please. We all know that what is the Insenberg reagent, which is nothing but a benzyl sulfonyl chloride, and it is also known as what? Insenberg reagent. And the formula will be goes like this, structural formula: benzene ring with the SO2 and Cl, which is also known as what? Benzyl sulfonyl chloride. Coming into the second question, that is a carbolamine reaction by taking ethylamine as an example. Here, just state what is a carbolamine reaction. Then, by taking the ethylamine only, you have to write the reaction. Okay. When aliphatic or aromatic primary amines are heated with chloroform and ethanoic potassium hydroxide, carbolamine will be formed, and this reaction, which is also known as what? Carbolamine reactions or isocyanate test. So here I am taking the ethanamide because in the reaction only, in the question only they have given by taking the ethanamide. So this is CH3, CH2, NH2, and this is a chloroform, and which is allowed to react heated with a chloroform by using very strong base. It will form what? Ethyl isocyanide with the formation of KCl and water. This reaction is known as what? Carbolamine or isocyanate test. We have one more reaction, that is why aniline is more basic than ammonia. Because of the lone pair of electrons are involved in the resonance, that is why aniline is more basic than ammonia. Coming into the next question, write a chemical reaction to show that glucose contains carbonyl group and glucose contains primary alcoholic group, and write the Hawa structure of alpha D glucose and the deficiency of which vitamin causes the disease beriberi. Okay. Here for writing the first question, you'll get a 2 mark. For writing the second question, you'll get a 2 mark, and for the last question, you'll get a 1 mark. Okay. So I'll go through with the first question. Here you need to show the chemical reaction where the glucose will contain a carbonyl group. We know that this is a reaction which is based upon to show that the structure of glucose. In that, we need to show that how the glucose molecules will contain carbonyl group as a functional group. Okay. First take a glucose which is allowed to react with hydroxylamine. Okay. What will happen? It will form glucose oxamine or glucose oximes will be formed. Okay. These reactions are showing that there will be a presence of carbonyl group in the glucose. We have one more question, that is glucose contains primary alcoholic group, or you can say that the glucose will consist of 5OH group. How to show that reaction? Again it comes under the glucose structure only. Take a glucose and show that it is undergoing the oxidation. It will form saccharic acid, which is upon further oxidation, it gives rise to the gluconic acid, which shows that there will be a primary alcoholic group will be there in the glucose molecule. This is how, if you write this reaction, you'll get a 1 mark, and writing the second reaction, you'll get a 1 more mark. Coming into the next question, we need to write the Harvard structure of alpha D maltose. So this is a Harvard structure where you are going to write the structure of alpha D maltose. Okay, this is the first carbon atom, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so you can see that the first and the fourth carbon atoms are attached, and this is a Harvard structure of the alpha D glucose. Coming into the vitamin deficiency, which vitamin deficiency which causes a disease known as beriberi, that is vitamin B1. Okay, so for writing this Harvard structure, remember you have to say that it is a 6 structure, that is how you will write in the benzene ring. Like that, you have to write the 6 carbon molecule, where in that one of the carbon molecule is oxygen. Okay, next we have, what is a non-essential amino acid? Give an example. And next question is, what is peptide bond and how many peptide bonds are there in tripeptide? And name the sugar moiety which is there in the DNA. For attending the first question, you will get a 2 marks. For second one, again it is 2 marks. The last one, it is 1 mark. Okay. For the first question, you have to say what are non-essential amino acids, and you have to give one example. We all know that non-essential amino acids are also required by the human beings, but they cannot be synthesized by the body. It has to be taken through the diet. Example is glycine and alanine. Okay, any one example you can give, proper one. Coming into the peptide bond, we know that it is an amide linkage which is formed between carboxylic group of one molecules of amino acid to the NH2 group, that is amine group, NH2 group of other molecules of amino acid by the eliminations of water molecule. This is known as what? Peptide linkage. If you say that what is a peptide linkage, you will get a 1 mark. And how many peptide bonds are present in tripeptide? If you say that, for that also 1 mark. We know that in a tripeptide there are only 2 peptide bond will be there. In dipeptide, only 1 peptide bond will be there, because it is a bond which is formed between 2 amino acid, where at the one end carboxylic group which is combined with the NH2 group just by eliminating the water molecule. Coming into the next question, name the sugar moiety which is there in the DNA. The sugar moiety of the DNA is beta D 2 deoxyribose. Beta D 2 deoxyribose. Next question, this is the last question in your part D. Explain vulcanization of the rubber and write the structure and IUPAC name of isoprene, and what is the monomeric repeating units which is there in nylon 6,6. For the first question, if you say what is vulcanization, 1 mark, and writing the structure and IUPAC name of isoprene, it is 1 mark. Okay. Then coming into the second question, you will get a 2 mark. Okay. Coming into the first question, you can see here, you have to say what is vulcanization of the rubber. We know that rubber is very soft, right? Naturally occurring rubber is very soft, but they'll go with the process of heating. Why they'll heat? In order to improve the strength of the rubber, and it is so elastic in nature and it's so soft. That is why, you know, they'll heat the rubber at a specific temperature in order to increases the stiffness of the rubber. That is known as what? Vulcanization. During the process, raw rubber is heated with a mixture of sulfur and an appropriate additive at a temperature around 373 Kelvin to 415 Kelvin to improve the physical properties of the rubber. On vulcanization, the sulfur will form a cross linkage on the reactive sides of the raw rubber, and this results in a rubber which will become more stiffened. This process which is known as what? Vulcanization. Always remember here, during this heating process of rubber, they'll add a sulfur also, which is one of the additive which forms a cross linkage in the normal rubber. So if the cross linkage is more in that polymer, you know, obviously it will become more stiffened and it will become very hard also. Okay. Then coming into the structure of isoprene. Okay. So this is the structure of isoprene where we have CH2 double bond C, CH3, CH double bond CH2. Okay. Why it is written as N? N times it will be combines to form a long chain. And coming into the IUPAC nomenclature, it is 2-methyl 1,1 3-butadiene. Why it is 2-methyl? Because to the second carbon atom you can see that the methyl group will be attached to 2-methyl 1,1 3-butadiene. Why it is butadiene? Because you can see that 4 carbon atom will be there. Coming into the last one, what is the monomeric repeating units which is there in the nylon 6,6? So the monomeric repeating units in the nylon 6,6 is hexamethyldiamine and adipic acid, which are the monomers which will be repeated many times to form a nylon 6,6. Hope you all understood. For writing this monomers, you will get a 2 marks, and writing this structure you will get a 1 mark. For IUPAC 1 mark, and for explaining the vulcanization you will get a 1 mark. So by this I like to say that today I have discussed with a model question paper in the part D. Hope you all understood with all the question, how to attend, how precisely you have to write for the board exam. So I'll meet you in the concept classes. Till that, take care, be safe. All the best for your examination. Do well. Thank you.